based on the fact that I just got my 23andme kit, and I've been wanting to do this for a while. I did say that I was going to update my, uh, my profile here on YouTube. But this is basically to discover, you know, my ancestry. And I believe that out of all of the tests, that 23andMe is the most accurate of them all. Um, from what I've been told, obviously, I'm of African American descent, and I know that, but when you dive deeper into my ancestry, on my mother's side, I have some European ancestry, which is French, and on my dad's side, there's African as well as Middle Eastern or Arab. To make it more specific, the ancestry comes from the Arab world. Because in the Middle East, when you think about the Middle East, it's very broad. Middle East is a really big place. So when you say Middle Eastern descent, um, most people do assume that it's Arabian or Arab, but the Middle East could be in, places like Azerbaijan, places like, Turkey, or Iran, which is not an Arab nation. So when you say Middle East, you have to be very specific on the area in the Middle East. But this 23andMe is very cool because, like I said, I don't believe the test is 100% accurate, and so some of the stuff you do have to take with a grain of salt. But with this test, it'll definitely connect an individual to a culture, and I say that all the time. It'll connect you to a specific culture. So if you identify yourself as um, well, if you want to identify yourself with African, and you do have African in you, this test will confirm it. For me, I identify myself as mixed race. I'm of African, European, and Arab. I have an Arab background. So that'll confirm, a lot of individuals don't believe me when I say that I'm also, Middle Eastern or Arab. I've been mistaken for a lot of things, but this test is definitely going to confirm, of course, my African and my Arab, ancestry. Um, and I didn't come into knowing about my Arab roots when I got older. That's when I came into that discovery of knowing that. Um, I can't pinpoint the area that all of my Arab roots come from, but it could be, Egypt. It could be in Saudi Arabia, Jordan, who knows? But I do know that it's there, and it's pretty cool, just to come into, your identity, as you get older, and to feel connected to a culture. Me personally identify, myself as a Arab, as a Afro-Arab, which is a person that is of African and an Arabian, background. Um, and like I said, on my mom's side, I do have French ancestry as well too. But it's a really amazing test, and I'm looking forward to getting the results back. I'm going to definitely post the results, and it's an amazing thing, to come into knowing who you are, and coming into um, having an identity. So um, I've gotten a lot of comments on that video that I made a few years ago. But now I'm gonna actually get the confirmation of what I actually am. So for people that want to say, "Oh, you're not this or you're not that," I'll be able to, show you what I am, you know, in the next 6 to 8 weeks, whenever I do get my results. Um, but I do encourage, more people to do the 23andMe testing, because not only can it um, confirm your ancestry and let you know more about your genetic breakdown, it can also confirm, or it can also let you know about your health report as well too. So this is a very, great DNA company, and I trust them. When I looked at all of the DNA tests, to me, it just kept coming back to 23andMe, when it came to making my decision. I looked at other companies like National Geographic. Um, everybody knows about Ancestry DNA. But I think out of all of the DNA companies and the tests, that, this one is, by far the most accurate. No, nothing is, with DNA is complete accuracy. They can mess up, but I think that 23andMe is by far, when I look at the databases and things like that, they test all over, the globe. So um, just stay tuned, and I'm gonna make another video with the results, and hopefully, just I mean, what I believe that I am. I believe that I'm between 50, but really between 50 and 70% African, whether it's Central African or West African. But I'm expecting between 50 and 70% of African. And as far as European, I'm expecting between 15 and between 15 and 30%. At the max 30% for European. I know on my mother's side, she's very light complected. So yeah, I'm expecting some European from her side of the family. But as far as the Middle East, which I came into know when I got older, I'm expecting between maybe 3 to 5% Middle Eastern. I think it's a little further out, but I know it's there. When I was, came into getting, when I got older, a lot of people asked me, did I have Middle Eastern, origin? Did I have a Middle Eastern or an Arab origin? I didn't even know until, I took a DNA test, and it did say that I had some. Um, but I didn't think the test was accurate because a lot of the information was outdated, and that one was, I think, Ancestry by DNA. But hopefully, this will confirm everything, and I might get some surprises. But like I said, I'm expecting between 50 and 70% African, and 15 to the max 30% European. Probably not a whole lot of European. And then maybe 3 to 5% North African or Middle Eastern, in there. But thanks for watching, and hope everybody have a good one.